Welcome to the deep dive. Ever had that moment where, your favorite online service just vanishes? Today we're digging into two really critical strategies to stop that digital nightmare from happening. We're talking Azure Site Recovery, ASR, and High Availability, HA. Think of them as, well, your ultimate digital insurance policy and your proactive maintenance plan kind of rolled into one.
Yeah, and the real power here, I think, is seeing how these two approaches, which are quite complementary, actually converge. We'll break down what each one means, how they function, and why getting a grip on them is just essential for building applications in Azure that are genuinely resilient. It's about giving you that confidence, really, that your critical systems won't fall over.
Okay, so our sources draw this really sharp line, almost like digital insurance versus daily upkeep. Can you maybe clarify that core difference for us?
That's a vital distinction, absolutely. So Azure Site Recovery, ASR, that's your cloud-based disaster recovery service. It's specifically built for those, what's called black swan events, major regional outages, maybe a whole data center failure. It protects your workloads, VMs, databases, you name it, by replicating them to a different Azure region. So if disaster strikes your main site, ASR lets you fail over and fast, restoring operations pretty quickly with hopefully minimal disruption.
Okay, so ASR is the big red button for catastrophes, the really unexpected stuff. But what about the day-to-day, the smaller issues that can still cause headaches?
Exactly. That's where high availability or HA comes in. It's all about proactively minimizing downtime for more routine problems, things like a single server crashing or maybe a software glitch needing a patch. It's about designing your systems from the ground up with things like redundancy and load balancing, making sure your application stays accessible, stays responsive, without really missing a beat. So
Yeah.
connecting it back, ASR is the plan for like a total loss scenario, while HA is about keeping the lights on continuously through those smaller, more frequent bumps.
Right, and something I found really fascinating about ASR in our sources was just the sheer breadth of its automated replication. It covers everything from VMs to physical servers, even specific apps like SQL Server, and those testing capabilities. Simulating a failover without touching your live production setup, I mean, that sounds like a game changer, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. And those testing capabilities are genuinely paramount. It's not just about ticking a box. We've actually seen situations where, things like DNS updates or specific network reconfigurations were completely overlooked until someone ran a test failover. It revealed some pretty crucial gaps. ASR also builds in data security, encryption during replication, encryption in storage. The process itself is quite clever too. You set up what's called a recovery services vault. Think of that as your DR command center. Select your workloads, and ASR just continuously copies the changes incrementally. And crucially, you can set recovery point objective, RPOs, define exactly how much data loss is acceptable, potentially down to minutes. The real insight there isn't just aiming for a super low RPO, but figuring out how to achieve it realistically, without breaking the bank or introducing tons of latency. A near zero RPO might sound great, but it has trade-offs.
Okay, that makes sense. Now, for the day-to-day running, the HA side, Azure uses services like Azure Load Balancer, availability sets, and availability zones here. It's not just spreading traffic around, is it? It's about doing it intelligently.
Precisely. And this brings up a really important question. How do these actually work together in a real-world setup? Think about, say, a critical e-commerce platform. ASR is that ultimate safety net, yeah. It makes sure you can recover if a whole Azure region goes offline. But within that region, HA using availability zones keeps your web servers running, even if an entire data center has an issue. They provide physical separation. Availability sets, on the other hand, protect you from hardware failures inside a single data center.
Ah, I see. So zones offer a higher level of isolation.
Exactly. Which is critical for maximum resilience, particularly for applications that hold state. Availability zones give you that much stronger protection against wider failures within a region. It's like having spare tires ready to go and then a whole new car ready if the first one gets completely wrecked. But that new car, the failed over system, it still needs careful checking, network adjustments, maybe some tuning. The failover isn't always just a magic button press.
Right. So for you listening, our sources suggest a really powerful way to get your head around this properly. Actually, go create a recovery services vault in the Azure portal. Enable replication for maybe just a test virtual machine, and then run a test failover. That hands-on bit really moves you from just, theory to practical understanding.
Definitely. And for the HA side, try deploying a simple web app. Maybe configure it with an availability set, or even better, an availability zone. And the key thing is regularly test your failovers. Monitor your replication health. Don't just set it and forget it. True confidence doesn't just come from the initial setup, right? It comes from actually verifying that your resilience strategy works when you need it.
So wrapping this up, what does this all mean for your applications? Well, Azure Site Recovery and high availability, especially when you use them together, they form this incredibly robust framework. It keeps your digital services running and makes them recoverable. It's not just about bouncing back after something bad happens.
Mhm.
It's more about building systems that are designed really from the get-go to withstand challenges.
Exactly. This combination delivers resilience, sure, but it also delivers, frankly, peace of mind. So for your own projects, maybe start thinking, how could you begin implementing even just the basic principles of ASR and HA? How can you start transforming your system's robustness, moving away from just hoping for uptime towards confidently ensuring that business continuity?